Donald Trump is weakness masquerading as strength, but Donald Trump's biggest problem right now is that he can't project strength because we don't even know if he can stand up. Donald Trump has been missing for days now, not just not talking to the press, but clearly unable to. And it just goes to show how tired and pathetic and weak he is, not just in the face of questions about his scandals, but also in trying to stand up to world leaders. And that was just exposed on a call in which Trump sounded so sickly that it is exploding his health scandal. We're going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we can get into that Trump call, we need to start with a little bit of context on how weak he's been appearing lately, and that starts with Gavin Newsom, who just won a big legal victory against Trump today.
Thousands and thousands of our National Guard, by the way, police officers, firefighters, teachers, that were pulled off the beat and their day jobs, ended up in the armories doing literally nothing. Hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayers' money. They had nothing to do. And the few hundred that were assigned at any different time, again, had to be protected by local law enforcement. So this isn't, obviously, none of this has anything to do with public safety, quite the contrary. It's about power dominance and aggression, the only thing he understands. And the question is, does he have the legal right? And we completely reject that. And I say that because I think it's important to highlight for your audience. We are not just saying that, we have asserted that. And we were in federal court 2 weeks ago doing oral arguments. We deposed members of the Trump administration under the posse comitatus framework that the U.S. military cannot be deployed for domestic law enforcement purposes. And Justice Breyer is about to adjudicate, have the first judgment, first opinion that will be published ever on the posse comitatus case that could have a real impact on what Trump is doing all across the United States. And so we're trying to assert ourselves in the courts, not just the court of public opinion, and push back against what he's doing. But I said this literally months ago, that LA is a preview of things to come. DC is a preview of things to come in every major city across this country.
Donald Trump is consistently showing that he is uninterested in actually governing. His move to bring in the National Guard to DC is not some long-term policy plan, because the problems that cause crime in our country, that cause homelessness in our country, are baked into a broken system. You can't just remove people. It's a politics of subtraction that the right has fallen in love with that doesn't solve actual problems. They attack people. They try to cast them out without understanding their background or why they are living in the circumstances they are, because they don't actually care. We shouldn't take these people seriously, and no one takes Donald Trump seriously, which is what came up on his call. But the context from it, what is so important, is how world leaders are viewing him, and that was broken down by Midas Touch's Ben Meiselas. It's important context that I want to start with.
Xi Jinping and Modi and Putin and all these world leaders who are gathering in China, and they're laughing. Like, you know, when Donald Trump says, the world was laughing at us. The world was not laughing at us before. The world is quite literally laughing at us right now. And you have China asserting itself as a major global power. As Financial Times reports, Chinese President Xi Jinping called on Russia, India, and other regional powers to join China in challenging the U.S.-led global order, promoting multilateralism, free trade, and a more just system at a security forum in Tianjin in China. And the United States used to be supportive of multilateralism, of free trade, of a global world order where the United States, frankly, dominated and was the envy of the world. The dollar was strong. The American bond market was strong. And right now we're seeing the opposite.
Donald Trump is being laughed at and mocked on the world stage because, much like at home, abroad, it is clear how pathetic he is. Donald Trump is sickly, he is weak, he is willing to bend the knee to authoritarians, to dictators who he just wants them to bat their eyelashes at Trump because he's so susceptible to flattery. But he's not very happy with how it's playing out, which is why he got on the phone, an interview with Scott Jennings that just got shared, and Trump sounds so sick, so gross, and so pathetic, it's blowing up his health scandal.
I'm very disappointed in him. He and I always had a great relationship. I'm very disappointed. Thousands of people are dying. They're not Americans that are dying, but they're Russians and they're Ukrainians, and there's thousands, and it's a war that makes no sense. And it would have never started if I were president, and that's what bothers me even more, because the election was totally rigged, and it's a shame.
So our good friends at Midas Touch shared the clip from that interview that Scott Jennings actually posted, not doing your buddy Trump a lot of favors there, Scott, by sharing that one, and pointed out just how sick and tired and slurring and exhausted Trump sounds. No wonder he's not getting in front of reporters. He could barely get those words out no matter how hopped up he is. But this is the current state of Donald Trump. He's not only just projecting weakness as he hides away and is so tired he can't even golf, he continues to bend the knee to dictators like Putin. He fails to secure any deals with his tariffs, which we know are just stunts that he's pulling. All of this is political theater. But when the curtain comes crashing down, the set pieces are broken, and your main character, in the cognitive decline that he is, can't deliver the lines, political theater doesn't work. It is reliant on having your president, your political leader, at least be able to play pretend. But Donald Trump can't even do that at this point because he is so tired. He is exhausted. He is wiped out, which is why now more than ever, we need strong Democratic candidates willing to not just say that they're fighting, to issue a strongly worded letter, but to get out there and deliver. And one of those candidates, Graham Planter, in Maine, is someone who I think we all should be paying attention to right now. I want to check out some of his most recent rally with Bernie Sanders, and also you can donate to his campaign below, but let's take a look.
Now, Susan Collins' charade is wearing thin. This is the easiest applause lines in these speeches. No one cares that you pretend to be remorseful as you sell out to lobbyists. No one cares while you sell out to corporations, and no one cares while you sell out to a president who are all engineering the greatest redistribution of wealth from the working class to the ruling class in American history. Symbolic opposition does not reopen hospitals. Weak condemnations do not bring back Roe v. Wade. Selling out the same working class voters who've delivered mandate for change after mandate for change is not forgivable. A performative politics that enables the destruction of our way of life is disqualifying for the role of United States Senator. Maine deserves better than Susan Collins. And Maine deserves an alternative who is not at risk of being mistaken as being beholden to the same status quo that she is. I am running because it is time for change.
The Democratic Party needs to be done with the platitudes. We don't want fighters, we want killers. We need people who go out and actually deliver. Look at Gavin Newsom right now. Gavin's not just talking about redistricting, he's carrying out the plan. He saw Republicans go forward and he says, I'm going on the offensive. You're stealing 5 seats, I'm going to make sure we take back 5 seats. I'm actually going to walk the walk. I'm going to do what needs to be done. And I'm going to invest our energy into delivering real results. And it's not just in beating back Donald Trump's attempts to steal elections where we need to be putting our energy. We need to be putting our energy into investing and showing people that we actually care and can deliver for them. that we are also fighting with real moral clarity. And that is exactly what Graham talked about when making a statement that we all as Democrats should get on board with, that it's not just about making sure that American kids at home are safe, have schools to go and learn in, are fed, but kids around the world. And that includes in Gaza. Graham said it so perfectly right here.
Our taxpayer dollars can build schools and hospitals in America, not bombs to destroy them in Gaza.
This is not just the moral clarity that we should want from our leaders, we should expect it. This should be the norm. No corporate money, no AIPAC money, a willingness to call a genocide in Gaza a genocide, to act like it's a genocide, and to speak out against Democrats who are unwilling to say the same. It is not party infighting when we try to make our party better. Sure, when Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin were unwilling to move forward with pieces of the domestic Biden agenda to please their big money donors in pharma or in crypto or hedge funds who they've sold out to, big oil, yeah, that is Democratic infighting that we need to fix. But bringing our party to a more moral place when we're leading with real direction, that is changing the party for the better. That needs to be done. We need to refocus what the Democratic Party is about. This narrative that Republicans and Democrats are the same, that we're all bought out by the same corrupt corporate players, it works because we haven't worked to change people's mind on it. We need candidates like Graham speaking out, and he did right here.
I believe that input from working people is far more important than input from someone who simply has money.
The Democratic Party must be the party of working people, and we can win on this issue, talking about reinvesting in American workers in a way that actually returns results, not ridiculous tariffs thrown out with ChatGPT generated numbers without actual care. No, we have to deliver. And we have to act like we care and show that we care. No more platitudes. Let's get policy and results. And we're going to be talking about that every single day on the show. And if you want to support Graham, I got donation links below. Please do support his campaign. And if you want to support this show, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.